One of the first things that Annette told me was everybody's going to want to tell you something. So you kind of feel like you have your own gut reactions and feelings about certain things and how you want to proceed through your diagnosis. But Annette told us, like sometimes you have to have your blinders on and really focus on your beliefs and the way you want to do things. So definitely keeping your blinders on is one thing. The second thing is because it is really overwhelming. There's so much information. They hand you like stacks of things, and sometimes it's really hard to wrap your head around. And while I think it is helpful to look at the whole picture, it's really helpful to look at things one step at a time. So, not worrying about radiation if it's at the very end of your treatment, focusing on your very first treatment. Not even, because everybody has a different, number of chemo sessions. So just even focusing on the very first one, not focusing on how many you have ahead of you, just that first one. So limiting, you're kind of what you're worrying about at any given time. I think the third is to remember that, kind of going back to the blinders thing, that everybody's experience is vastly personal and unique. So just remembering that there are information and resources out there, but ultimately they don't necessarily reflect you and your journey, especially statistically speaking. Stats don't really matter because they don't reflect you. And I think last thing, and I think one of the most important things is just, it can be really easy to say, stay positive and keep doing the things that you love, because I know some people have a lot harder kind of pathways through their journey, but something that I think is really important is staying positive and practicing gratitude for the things that you have in your life, surrounding yourself with positive energy, positive people in your life that love you and you love in return. And staying as active as possible. So, I did end up quitting my full-time job, but I danced throughout the entire treatment. And yes, I did take breaks at certain points, but I still taught and I danced and I was out in the world visiting and connecting with people, and I think that's really important. For me, I felt like the most helpful ways that people could show me that they cared was to listen. Listen to my fear, listen to my experiences, and I guess not. A lot of people would try and help by telling you what to do, or maybe you should do this, or maybe you should stop doing this, or maybe if you only ate, I don't know, like sea vegetables, and it's just like it can be so overwhelming to have. And they're all doing it because they love you and they care about you and they want you to be okay. But it can be very overwhelming to have various people in your life constantly saying, do this, don't do this, or, I wonder if you got cancer because of this. And it's like, so I think, just being there to listen.
Because a lot of people, unfortunately, cancer's touched a lot of people, and so a lot of friends and a lot of family members all have someone that they know who've gone through it, and so they have stories that they tell you to be helpful, but you quickly learn that it's so overwhelming when it's just like, oh, my friend felt really bad during this part of it, so maybe you'll feel really bad, or my friend, had a really rough time with this medication, or my friend Suzanne Summers says not to take this, and it's just like all of that. It's about having the blinders and knowing what parts of it to take. She did have a lot to say about visualizing the future, I thought, but also she was very good about, like sometimes you get test results and things like that, and it's difficult to decipher, and again, because you're receiving it from a specialist, they'll be worried about certain things. It's hard to interpret their worry, and so you bring that test result to Annette, and she can point out, these are the positive things. These are the things that that they're good signs, they're things to be hopeful about, and really focusing on those good things was something that was how she was able to make us less scared.